Hey everyone! Welcome back to Life in Motion, your favorite English learning podcast where we make speaking English easy, fun, and stress-free. I'm Kate.
And I'm Alex. Hi, everyone. Today's episode is something I know many of you will love. Say this, not that. English phrases you can use every day.
Yes, so often learners know words, but they struggle to say the right phrases naturally, or they overthink and say something awkward. Today, we're fixing that.
We'll share phrases you can use immediately, both in casual life, like talking with friends, family, or at a cafe, and in formal situations, like at work, meetings, or school.
And the best part? We'll explain why one phrase works better than another, give real-life examples, and show you how to use them confidently.
Plus, we'll give you mini exercises so you can practice right away. By the end of this episode, you'll have a whole toolkit of ready-to-use English phrases.
All right, let's start with casual phrases. The first thing we often hear learners say is something like,
I like very much this movie.
yes, we've all been there. That works, but it sounds a bit awkward.
The better way to say it is, I really like this movie, or this movie is really good.
Exactly. It's simple, natural, and flows like a native speaker.
Another common one, instead of saying, I am boring, to mean I feel bored, say, I'm bored.
Yes, tiny changes make a big difference in natural English.
And here's a tip. Pair it with a follow-up question to keep conversation going. Example, I'm bored. How about you? What are you doing?
Perfect. That's how you go from one simple sentence to a mini conversation, all casual and natural.
All right, let's move to greeting phrases. So many learners say, Hi, how are you doing? Which is fine, but sometimes you want to sound more friendly and engaged.
You could say, Hey, how's your day going? Or, Hi, how are you today?
And if you're with friends, try, Hey, what's up? Or, Hi, how's it going?
Yes, these are casual, friendly, and much more natural than just, Hi, how are you?
Okay, now a mini exercise for our listeners. Say one greeting phrase out loud today to a friend, or even to yourself in the mirror.
And when you do it, pay attention to tone and rhythm. That's what makes it sound natural.
All right, next casual phrases, ordering food or drinks. Many learners say, I want coffee.
Technically correct, but not natural. Instead, say, Can I get a coffee, please? Or, I'd like a coffee, please.
Yes, adding please and a polite structure makes a huge difference, and it works in any English-speaking country.
And don't forget follow-up questions. Can I get a latte? Do you have almond milk? Small extensions like this make you sound fluent and confident.
Okay, now let's switch gears to formal phrases for work or school.
Many learners say, I don't understand this, which is okay, but in a professional setting, you can sound more polished by saying, I'm not sure I understand this part. Could you explain it again?
Or, could you clarify this for me? Short, professional, and polite.
Exactly. Another common one, instead of, I agree with you, you could say, I completely agree with your point, or I see your point and I agree. Tiny words like completely or I see your point make your English more native-like.
Now for emails or messages, instead of please send me the file, say, could you please send me the file when you have a moment?
Polite, professional, and still very natural. People notice subtle changes like this.
And here's a fun trick. For both casual and formal English, replace direct words with softeners. Example, instead of I don't know, say I'm not sure or I'm still learning about this.
Softening phrases makes you sound friendly and confident even if you don't know everything. All right, Alex, let's move on to some common mistakes learners make in casual conversations.
Oh yes, there are so many. One big one is using too many filler words like ah, or repeating you know too much.
True. A better alternative is to pause for a second instead of filling the silence. It feels natural and it gives your brain a moment to plan the next sentence.
And speaking of casual phrases, many learners say, I want to go to park, missing the article. A simple fix, I want to go to the park.
Or even more natural, I'm thinking of going to the park. Sounds like a native speaker casually talking about plans.
Another common mistake is I am boring when they mean I am bored. Tiny differences in words make big differences in meaning.
Yes, and don't forget casual phrases for expressing feelings. Instead of I am very happy, say I'm so happy or I'm thrilled for more natural expression.
And the cool thing about casual phrases is you can combine them with emojis, gestures, and tone if speaking with friends. It makes your English fun and expressive.
All right, let's do a mini exercise for listeners. Pick one casual phrase you often say awkwardly and say it in 3 different ways today. For example, I'm tired to I'm exhausted, I'm feeling beat, I'm so tired today.
And don't worry if you mess up. Remember, imperfect is perfect when you're practicing. Now, let's switch to office or formal English phrases. This is where many learners freeze, especially during meetings or presentations.
Right. Instead of saying, I don't understand, say, could you clarify this part for me? Or, I'd like a little more explanation on this point.
Yes, and when giving opinions, instead of I think this is good, try, from my perspective, this approach could work well. Or, I believe this solution is effective because.
Adding small phrases like, from my perspective, or I believe, makes your English polished and professional.
Another tip for meetings, instead of saying, yes, I agree, you could say, I completely agree with your point, or I see your point and I support it.
These small changes make a huge difference in how people perceive your English.
And for emails, instead of send me the report, you could say, could you please send me the report when you have a chance?
Polite and professional, while still short and clear. Okay, Alex, let's talk about phrases to sound natural when you don't know the answer. Many learners panic and just stay quiet.
Yes, instead of saying nothing or I don't know, you could say, I'm not entirely sure, but I think. That's a great question. I'll need to check and get back to you. I haven't learned that yet, but I'm curious to find out.
Perfect. These phrases buy you time, sound confident, and show professionalism.
And in casual conversations, instead of I don't know, you can say, good question, or I haven't thought about that.
Yes, keeping it friendly and curious works for both casual and professional settings. Now, let's dive into phrases for agreeing or disagreeing naturally.
So many learners just say yes or no. Fine, but you can sound more natural with agreeing exactly. Absolutely, I think so too. You're right. I hadn't thought of that. Disagreeing politely. I see your point, but I think. That's an interesting perspective. My view is, I understand, though I have a slightly different opinion.
And the secret, combine tone plus small phrases to avoid sounding harsh.
Exactly. It's not just the words, it's how you say them. Let's do a fun challenge for our listeners. Pick one casual conversation phrase and use it today. Pick one professional phrase and use it in a meeting, email, or call. Comment one phrase you used today in English in the YouTube comments.
Tiny steps every day equal big progress in English.
All right, now let's talk about phrases for small talk. Many learners struggle with this.
Exactly. Instead of saying nice weather awkwardly, try it's such a beautiful day, isn't it? I love this sunny weather. How about you? It's been raining a lot lately. I'm glad the sun is out.
And in office small talk, how was your weekend? Did you enjoy the team lunch yesterday? I saw the report you shared. It was really helpful.
Notice how adding tiny details makes your English natural and interesting. All right, Alex, let's talk about phrases for expressing opinions naturally. So many learners say, I think yes, or I think no. Not wrong, but sounds robotic.
Exactly. Instead, in casual English, you could say, I think that's awesome. Or, honestly, I'm not sure I agree. Or, I feel the same way.
And in formal or professional situations, you could say, from my perspective, this approach seems effective. I see where you're coming from, but I have a different view. In my experience, this method works well.
Tiny adjustments make you sound confident and fluent. People notice subtle language shifts.
Another common area where learners struggle is asking for help. Many just say, help me. It works, but it's abrupt.
Better casual alternatives. Can you help me with this? Or, I need a little help if you don't mind. Or, could you show me how to do this?
And in a professional setting, would you mind assisting me with this task? Could you guide me on this project? I'd appreciate your advice on this matter.
See how small, polite structures make a huge difference in perception? You sound capable, confident, and professional.
Now let's talk about phrases for saying thank you naturally.
Many learners just say thanks, which is fine, but you can sound warmer and more expressive.
Casual examples, thanks a lot. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Professional/formal examples, thank you very much for your help. I sincerely appreciate your assistance. Thank you for taking the time to explain this.
And the trick is to match your tone with your words. Polite tone plus natural phrase equals instant fluency. Alex, let's dive into phrases for apologizing. Learners often say sorry too much or in awkward ways.
Casual alternatives, I'm so sorry about that. Oops, my bad. I didn't mean to do that.
Professional alternatives, I apologize for the mistake. I'm sorry for any inconvenience caused. Please accept my apologies for the oversight.
Notice the difference? Casual is warm, light, friendly. Professional is polished, respectful, and serious.
All right, time for a mini exercise for our listeners. Pick one casual phrase and one professional phrase from today's lesson and use it at least 3 times today.
Yes, even speaking to yourself counts. Record a short voice note or talk in the mirror. Tiny steps build huge progress.
Now let's talk about phrases for making agreements or politely disagreeing. Learners often just say yes or no. That's fine, but a little more nuance goes a long way.
Casual agreeing, absolutely. I feel the same. Totally agree with you.
Casual disagreeing, I see your point, but I think, or not sure I agree, or interesting, though I have a slightly different view.
Professional agreeing, I completely agree with your point. That aligns with my thoughts exactly. I concur with your analysis.
Professional disagreeing, I understand your perspective, however, that's a valid point, though I have a different view. I see where you're coming from, but consider this.
Small tweaks in wording equals confident, fluent, polite English.
Now let's cover phrases for making suggestions. Many learners just say, do this or try this. Too direct sometimes.
Casual alternatives, why don't you try, or have you thought about, or maybe you could.
Professional alternatives, I'd suggest considering. One option might be, perhaps we could explore.
And here's a trick. Add positive words like maybe, could, consider to sound polite and collaborative.
Alex, let's talk about phrases for inviting someone casually and formally.
Casual, do you want to grab coffee? Hey, want to hang out later? Let's go check out that new cafe.
Professional, would you like to join me for a meeting? I'd like to invite you to discuss this project. Could we schedule a time to meet and talk about this?
Notice how small word changes, like join me versus hang out, shift from formal to casual instantly.
Okay, let's do a fun interactive exercise for our listeners. Pick 3 casual phrases from today, use them with friends or family. Pick 3 professional phrases, use them in work, school, or emails. Comment one phrase you successfully used today in English.
This is real practice, not just listening. Speaking every day, even a little, is how fluency grows.
Now, let's talk about some common mistakes learners make when trying to use English phrases.
Oh, yes, one of the biggest mistakes is overusing direct translations from their native language.
Exactly. For example, some learners say, I have 25 years instead of I am 25 years old. It's correct in structure in their language, but in English, it sounds strange.
Or saying, I am agree instead of I agree. Tiny words like am make a big difference.
And don't forget mixing tenses. Sometimes learners say, I go yesterday to the shop instead of I went to the shop yesterday.
Another mistake is adding unnecessary words to sound formal, like saying, I am of the opinion that this solution is very much agreeable to me.
Too much. Much simpler, I agree with this solution. Short, clear, professional. Now, let's do a say this, not that segment with some practical examples.
Perfect. Here we go. Casual. Instead of I am very happy, say I'm thrilled or I'm so happy. Instead of I don't like it very much, say I'm not a fan or I don't really like it. Instead of it is not good, say it's not great or I'm not impressed.
Yes, tiny changes make your speech sound native instantly.
Me, formal, professional. Instead of I don't know, say I'm not entirely sure, but I think, or I'd like to check and confirm. Instead of send me the report, say could you please send me the report when you have a moment. Instead of I agree with you, say I completely agree with your perspective.
See the difference? Simple tweaks make a huge impact on how fluent and confident you sound. Kate, let's share some fun stories from real life to make these phrases stick.
Sure. One time I was in a meeting with senior colleagues and I wanted to say I didn't understand a chart. I froze and almost said, I don't know this.
Oh no.
Yeah, instead I remembered a phrase we practice. I'm not entirely sure I understand this part. Could you explain it?
Perfect.
And it worked. Everyone was polite, I learned the chart, and I sounded professional instead of awkward.
That's exactly why learning ready-to-use phrases matters. Another story, this one casual. I was at a cafe abroad and I wanted to order a latte with almond milk.
Let me guess. You said something like, I want coffee with almond.
Close. But I remembered, can I get a latte with almond milk, please?
Much better. Polite, clear, and natural.
And the barista smiled. Tiny difference, huge confidence boost.
Okay, now let's give our listeners a mini challenge for today. Pick 2 casual phrases from today's say this, not that examples. Use them with friends, family, or even in voice notes. Pick 2 professional phrases. Use them in emails, meetings, or class discussions. Record yourself saying these phrases or write them in the YouTube comments.
The goal isn't perfection, it's practice and confidence. Even one small step today is progress. Alex, let's cover phrases for handling small talk naturally. So many learners freeze because they don't know what to say.
Casual small talk examples. How's your day going? What did you do this weekend? Have you watched any good movies lately?
And for professional small talk, how was your weekend? Did you have a chance to review the report? I hope your week is going well.
Tiny detail. Add follow-up questions. This keeps the conversation going naturally.
Exactly. For example, how was your weekend? Did you do anything fun? Instead of stopping at just one sentence. Another area, expressing feelings and emotions naturally.
Casual. I'm super excited. I feel a bit tired today. I'm really happy for you.
Professional. I'm pleased with the results of the project. I feel this approach could work well. I'm glad we resolved the issue efficiently.
See the pattern. Casual equals expressive, emotional, light. Professional equals polite, clear, positive.
Okay, Alex, let's do a say this, not that recap for today. Casual. I want coffee. To can I get a coffee, please? I'm bored to I'm feeling bored or not much happening here. Thanks to thanks so much or I really appreciate it.
Formal, send me the report to could you please send me the report when you have a chance? I don't know to I'm not entirely sure, but I'll check and get back to you. I agree to I completely agree with your perspective.
Tiny changes, huge difference.
And finally, let's leave our listeners with a motivating challenge. Speak 5 sentences in English today using at least 2 casual phrases and 2 professional phrases from today's episode. Don't worry about mistakes. Your goal is fluency and confidence.
Remember, practice is progress. Every small step counts. Your English is under construction, and that's amazing. Every phrase you say, even imperfectly, is a brick building your fluency.
And if you enjoyed this episode, like, subscribe, and comment one phrase you used today. We love reading your progress and cheering you on.
That's all for today's episode of Life in Motion. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember, say this, not that, to sound more natural every day.
See you next time, and keep your English moving forward.
Bye, everyone. Keep practicing and have a fantastic day.